Hey, we're here, able to play D&D concurrently. Woo! All right. So, let's see. It's been a minute. But basically, what we had going on was that the party had come to the tree, the capital city of the Elven Society, off to the eastern part of the continent, known as the city known as Balinor. And you were in search of a lost, as you came to find out, lost holy man.
Can I interject with something relevant?
What's relevant?
Laura got a tattoo with her name in Elvish today.
That's pretty dope.
Okay. Told you it was relevant.
I wouldn't say relevant, but still cool.
Elvish. Elves.
God damn it.
Tangential. But yeah, okay. So after that quick little sidebar, elves and missing holy people, and the group is on the case, and because they're player characters, they think of things that other people haven't thought of over the last 100 years, which has basically led them to connecting some dots, thinking that perhaps, as it was revealed to Tormilla that he was brought to the land of his ancestors, maybe that means he is in the Feywild. And so they've been thinking about ways to get there, eventually settling on, Deus Ex Machina, Innes Blackwell, again. And, yeah, so they went to basically the center of all things magical in Balinor, found themselves a companion to accompany them in what could be a dangerous journey in the form of, what appears to be a dragon-blooded sorcerer named Seema. And as I recall, it was right after meeting her that we left off last time, so you guys didn't actually hop into a teleportation circle or anything along those lines yet. You just were kind of prepping. So is there anything else that you guys wanted to get done before, let's say, we kind of time-lapse a little bit to a point where you guys can actually do stuff?
I think, at least for me, I'm good. We've been in the city for quite a bit.
Yeah, at least in real life, yeah, we have. A long ass time. So, I don't know. Anybody got anything they need to do?
Nope.
Okay. So, eventually, I think we said by the end of the day that you had asked him, Blackwell arrives in town. And upon kind of catching him up on the plan, he tells you that he will be able to accommodate your needs. Of course, acknowledging the whole way that this is just one more in a series of favors that you guys will probably owe him at some point. And tomorrow he will be able to get you guys in, and should you need it, out of the Feywild. At least that's the intent. As you were digging up the info on a potential teleportation circle within the Feywild. Remember, your source wasn't entirely intact, so there is a little bit of room for error, I suppose. But assuming all goes well, you guys could, well, make your move into and then out of the Feywild in, well, some amount of time. I mean, it's like, I think you guys would have learned in your research that travel to and from the Feywild is not without its chronological discrepancies.
Perils.
Yeah, you know, you could leave and then come back like a century later or something.
Wait. What? Well, hold on here. Business opportunity. We could make like rare things now and come back like a millennia later when they're extinct with a shitload of money.
So Bungdo wants to buy a bunch of Beanie Babies, is what I'm hearing.
And time travel, a millennium in the future.
Yeah. Plus, at that point, they'll probably have hover cars.
But it's not guaranteed to come back to it.
Yeah.
But there's a chance. Well, I'm just saying it's an option. I like to keep those open, and now it's there.
Yeah, but unless you can acquire some rare artifacts in the next 5 minutes or so, we're going.
I mean, do we have any rare artifacts?
Do we have any beans?
Can we roll a perception check for Beanie Babies?
We have some Flogonite.
Close enough.
Uh,
Will they be extinct?
Only time will tell.
Is Trump president?
Said we'd go to the future, not hell. Just kidding. Politics. I think Bungo's good though.
Okay.
Although if he sees any rare artifact stands, he may be interested in procuring.
you know, those rare artifact stands.
Yeah, you know, dude walks up to you like,
It's
you know,
an
in a sketchy
elvish
dark
fucking-
alley. He like opens his trench coat. Hey, you want to buy a rare artifact?
It's
Yes.
a knockoff. It's still worth lots.
Got like an ancient-looking vase somehow hanging from the inside of his coat.
It's a big ass pocket.
You see this vase right here? Check this out. And he throws it against the wall and it just doesn't break. It's magical, see? Hands it to you, it's just silicone.
Sell those in Hyrule. You make a lot of money.
Yeah, you will.
All right. But anyway, just getting all of that out of the way. Yeah. So you guys group up once again with Blackwell and your new acquaintance Seema, and the time has come to depart from Balinor to hopefully the Feywild. And so, as most of you have done before, you all step into the etched confines of the teleportation circle as Blackwell takes careful note of the destination that he's aiming for. And you watch as the runes begin to light up. You see a familiar, almost starry appearance kind of fold into existence around you, as though you are somehow between levels of reality for a few moments. And those little pinpricks of light that look like distant stars begin to swell and grow to a blinding intensity as the deep darkness is transformed into a blinding light. and with a slight falling sensation, you feel your feet land on somewhat solid ground. It feels as though you've landed on a patch of earth somewhere with a little bit of grass growing out, cushioning whatever fall there would have been. And as the light kind of begins to fade away, you find yourselves in a foreign wood. So, looking around, I think Blackwell kind of raises an eyebrow and says, well, I can't say for certain, but I do believe it worked. He kind of looks around at the the circle that he has teleported you into, and you see that instead of being traced or carved into the ground by any traditional means, it is a series of mushrooms that has grown in a certain shape and arrangement so as to kind of spell out the series of runes that he had to match up with. Well, if this isn't the Feywild, I don't know what is. So, he kind of looks at the rest of you and says, what exactly is your plan from here?
Well, I don't think we thought we'd get this far.
This is fair.
Find that, there's a... What did we find out about the land of his ancestors? Like, we know, like, an area kind of thing, right?
So what you found out was the prodigal saint of Eldath yet lives, born back to the land of his ancestors. He seeks to recover that which has been lost, though the seasons be harsh. Burning summer freezes overnight into bleakest winter. The father's only friend, his most dire of foes.
That sounds like a desert.
Yeah, very much so.
I would know.
What, is it a heat?
What?
It was a riddle, right?
Yeah.
Fucking trying to figure it out.
It sounds like a desert.
So, and Blackwell says, and have you any means to communicate across planes?
Same way I've been communicating before.
Cross planes, does it?
Yeah, there's just a small chance it won't work.
It's what, like a 5% chance or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, it's exactly a 5%.
Yeah.
So we might be stuck here.
We have a 95% chance, and I can do it 3 times a day. I think we're okay.
Fuck it.
Actually, I
go.
can do it 7 times a day.
7 nat ones in a row. Here we go.
Even if we got a nat 1, it'd be okay. It'd be within that, or...
Nope.
No, not
Nope.
one with 5%.
Like,
It would
95.
literally
Oh,
be
it doesn't count. Okay.
85%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think he looks over the group one last time and says, if that will be all, I think I will take my leave.
Yeah.
I raise my hand real quick.
Yes.
Do you have any star fruit?
I do not.
We do though.
Yeah, but we could have more. That's all. I just was curious if he had star fruit. I asked him if he would like one.
I will be fine.
Well, that just sounds like you're someone who's never had one before. I offer him a star fruit.
Again, kind of quirks an eyebrow and takes it.
I just smile and go on my way.
And so you leave the apparently fiendish underworld boss or something, you're not really quite sure still, standing in the middle of the woods, surrounded by mushrooms, holding a star fruit as he begins to cast a spell.
That honestly just sounds like a good day.
Oh, and there's another thing that I need to do, which I didn't because, yeah. You just gotta get the music repeating so it doesn't like die and get all silent and stuff.
You
Alright.
push quiet.
Okay. So, how are you guys finding whatever place you were looking for as you're now surrounded or surrounded by trees?
Wandering?
Does Seema have any knowledge of where the desert in the Feywild might be?
She has no idea.
Does druidic knowledge allow me to have any insight on this?
I would say you could make a nature check.
Good. My fucking wild shapes.
Okay.
Become a blunt hound. Smell the desert.
Smell the desert. It's like Taste the Rainbow, but a lot worse. Okay. So, looking around, I don't think there are any dead giveaways. However, you have heard that in the Feywild, a lot of the general landmarks and such are similar, like kind of corresponding to those in the prime material plane. So, if that's the case, kind of triangulating based on how you know, like the direction you were facing when you teleported in, and then the direction that the sun is currently shining from, and all of that stuff. You think you might be able to reach a desert if you head toward the barely visible mountains in the distance and go beyond those. It's a bit of a hike.
Like back to where.
How many people are with us? It's me, Tormilla, and Maya, correct?
And Seema.
Yes. If I were to fly, I probably could not carry them.
Probably not all three, no.
But you could fly to see if you see a desert.
Do you have polymorph?
No?
Well,
I could tomorrow, I think, maybe.
because you can polymorph somebody and then change yourself so that you'd have two birds and then two people not birds. And that should work.
Fuck it, Rhino.
Okay. Rhino.
can all ride the rhino. Or at least I can ride the rhino.
Easy.
Well,
Fucks.
you're probably just as fast as the rhino.
I am.
So I will ride the rhino since I'm slow. I got short, stubby legs.
You and your short, stubby legs. Okay. Cool.
How fast is the rhino?
Let's see.
I guess faster than 30.
Rhino.
It's pretty heavy.
Speed 40.
Yep.
I am faster than the rhino.
Faster than a speeding rhino.
What?
I think if you charge, you're faster.
Oh, I'm definitely faster.
Oh, really?
Are we gonna have another race in D&D this week, Becca? We spent most of the Wednesday campaign in a ship race between the party and some NPCs that included, actually, strangely enough, Trogdor's son.
Huh. Indeed.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I could race as a rhino.
Okay, so you are, what, just heading out towards the mountains and hoping for the best?
At full speed.
Okay. Quickly hoping for the best.
Toot toot.
Alright, so you all make your various travel
I
arrangements.
mean, I'm gonna get tired pretty fast if I'm literally sprinting the entire way there.
There is that. This
Would
is the
start
thing.
from
Just pause, pop a starfruit, speed away. That's how that works, right, Eric?
Yeah, sure.
home. It's like it's just like a cocaine fruit.
Or, you know, speed.
Yeah, everything is fine. Okay. So, you choose your direction and you take off, committing fully to that direction and running your asses off, at least as much as you can. And, yeah, so the woods go on and on and on. And you... I mean, how long do you think you guys would keep going in a given direction, knowing that, like, we'll say you started this more or less around the beginning of the day?
I mean, do we know we know the general direction of it? So I'm confused.
How long, in terms of time, would you like to continue? Just
Oh.
full travel day, running your ass off?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, not sprinting the whole time, but
All right, but you know, like Lord of the Rings style, right? You're just like running across the various hills and forests.
Yeah.
And...
basically
Yeah.
long distance jogging.
Okay. So, you know, we get the theme music going. And we see a montage of, you know, people running, and luckily Bungo and his short legs have been shape changed, so, you know, there's not like a moment where he's, you know, comes running up like 20 seconds behind everybody else and has to lean up against a tree. But yeah, so you put in like a good day's travel at a pretty healthy pace, and you're still in the woods, which doesn't come as all that much of a surprise. I mean, you know, you traveled a few days in the woods to get to the tree, so it only makes sense that it would take you a little while to get back out. But the strange thing is that in all of this time, the distant pastel colors of the sunrise over the horizon have not ceased. It's like you're at a constant, well, dawn or dusk Hard to say exactly which at this point. And so here you are, surrounded by trees, looking at a very similar scene to that which you first arrived in, although it's not like you've doubled back and found the circle of mushrooms or anything. So, as your 8-hour travel day comes to an end, is there anything you guys want to do other than set up camp?
Yes.
What?
Once everybody's kind of just taken up camp for the night, I'm gonna just kind of go off and sit on my own. I'm gonna cast this on Blackwell, so that I know what the fuck I'm dealing with.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me just write legend lore. for a
Sorry.
moment here. That's all good. I mean, you have the spell. It happens.
You have the power.
And just an FYI, I have another spell that's gonna be kind of coming through pretty quick once I can change spells. So,
Okay.
of a similar flavor that may aid
Interesting.
us.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, I guess we're gonna slow things down. Like, I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying we need to take a second so I can like figure out what the hell I'm gonna.
We can
say
kind of
that.
hand wave legend lore. Like,
Okay,
if you,
we'll
if
just
you want.
say that like if something comes up that Tormilla would know
I can make Laura.
that in.
Well-
Send a picture of her tattoo.
We're gonna have time. Oh, in the next like couple weeks anyway. So just let me know.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So
Alright,
I just
cool.
didn't want to burn a spell slot and then rest. Or I do want to do that and then rest
Yeah,
and
you-
then
Yep.
so.
Okay. Cool. So, Tormilla does that. Anything else? Sounds like a no.
Switching spells afterward.
Yep.
For that night.
Alright. So, this first, I guess you could call it night in the Feywild.
Rest period.
Yeah. It goes by uneventfully. And so anybody who's missing anything, you know, if you're still missing like some hit dice or something, you have those back. You should be pretty much topped off with everything at this point. And yeah, so was Tormilla going to use whatever this other spell is like now or wait till the end of
Yes.
the day?
First thing in the morning, I'm going to cast Divination.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
the offering that I'm going to give is I'm going to give some of the Thogonite. Being that it's a metal made by a worshipper, I'm offering that as a
Actually,
ritual.
it's not.
No?
Remember, Thogonite is different from Togarite.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Got that confused. Been
Yeah.
a while. So
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, then I guess I don't really have it much of anything to sacrifice. I was thinking I was going to use that.
We have a bloody cultist.
Here, God, want my dirty laundry with a stab wound in it?
I could befriend an animal and then sacrifice it.
Well, my other thing is all I have listed is plate armor and a warhammer. I'm almost certain I have a little more than that.
Yeah, you would have, at the very least, some gold, but you could have bought something, you know, if like in preparation for perhaps using the spell. I would let you hand wave that.
Okay, cool. So I'll pay the 25 gold.
Okay.
So
All right.
and my question is going to be, Where is what the hell is his name?
The guy we're looking for.
Yeah, was it Kios?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Where is or what direction is Kios in from us?
Okay. All right. So you go and make your sacrifice, perform your ritual or whatever you need to do, and kind of begin to commune with your deity. And as you kind of close your eyes and begin to meditate and kind of form the connection to the source of your divine power, you feel your eyes almost forced open, and you watch as the area around you, this like dusky glade in the middle of the woods, just seems to transform before your eyes. So where you had seen this lush green, just lively forest, you see now the trees bare of leaves, covered in snow and ice, like ice just dripping down, forming long spikes hanging from the branches. The whole area turning desolate and frozen. Then you blink, and it's back to the way it was. And then you blink again. Spring. Again. Fall. You see an entire jumbled progression of the seasons unfolding before your eyes in the very spot that you're in.
Right.
Wait, what was that last sentence?
You basically just see the entire area around you almost randomly change from season to season.
Huh. So, I'm gonna take that as we're probably in the right area. We just have to look. So, I will, once the rest of the party gets up, I will relay that.
What's the order of the seasons?
The order that he saw, or that she saw, was winter and then summer and then spring, then fall. But it seemed to kind of continue cycling through. It was in kind of like not really any order, I guess. Like you'd continue seeing the seasons cycling almost at random.
And did I feel any directional pull of where? Because I did that was my question, was where.
I don't think you felt the directional pull. I think this is more there was an answer in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll relay the message that, this is what I found out. I tried to use divine power, and this is what we got.
Oh, that's confusing.
is confusing.
Do you happen to have it typed out?
What I just said?
Yeah.
No, that was entirely improvised, but I can basically recap it real quick if you want.
Yeah, just so I can make
Yeah,
sure there's
do you want
nothing
me
I'm
to?
missing.
You want me to speak it or type it out?
Probably type it out would be better.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
That actually
Pretty
sounds
much.
pretty accurate.
I wonder if I have any black grass.
Yeah, this would be the place to smoke it, right?
I don't. But I do have oil of slipperiness
Ooh.
and a vial of worms. I could put the oil on the worms and then it'd be super slippery.
I question your sound.
Spooky, spicy, slippery, scary little worms.
Sure. That's a thing. Okay. So,
Well, since that really didn't... I mean, it kind of worked. The other spell I have...
Oh god.
This.
okay.
I'm going to see if I can find Kios.
Okay. So you have not seen a Kios up close within 30 feet.
Well, I mean, I've seen a painting and a picture up close.
Let's see. If the creature you describe their names in different forms of being. I mean, let's see. I suppose we could allow that. Okay. I mean, it seems like if we don't, things might drag on anyway. So.
Well, I mean, if I've cast Lore Legend, I would think I know enough about the guy to be able to try to locate him.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess either way, like, even if you couldn't do the familiarity thing, I think you could still probably like try to find the closest elf or something.
Yeah.
So in whatever capacity, we'll say that you're able to cast this in such a way that it would target Father Kios. And you do so. And it takes a moment, but there is a faint signature, seemingly on the very fringe of your range, that seems to match what you're looking for.
Which direction?
Best guess is it's north. If things kind of match up the way that they, to the way that they are in the prime material, it would be north.
Okay. I'll say, by the way, guys, I am picking up a signature of an elf to the north. About 1,000 feet to the north, to that direction, and I'll point in the direction, just so, in case north is not north,
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Should we try to head out there and see if we can catch them? Before
Sure.
So, I can concentrate on this for up to an hour, so I can keep an eye on where they are. But it would help if I could either ride or, preferably fly on somebody.
Hint, hint.
Let me look at my forms.
Bungo, the pack mule. Beast of burden.
I mean, it's within 1,000 feet, so I guess we could just walk. But
There's that.
but it is like dense jungle or dense forest, isn't it?
It's pretty dense. I mean, it's not like the jungles of Chilt dense, but
Okay, so I mean,
Yeah.
we could traverse it at a normal pace, though.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's just walk.
Okay. I could turn into a giant eagle if you would like.
No, I was thinking that it was going to be tough to navigate and it would take us a while to get there.
No, I mean
But-
it is a forest, and it's not like you're walking on a trail the whole time, but it's not like impossibly dense and difficult. Like you don't have to hack through it with a machete.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, we'll just walk then.
Okay. All right. So, you head up toward the north and continue kind of weaving through the trees and just general forest growth that I mean they do seem to have grown a lot of the things here, a lot of the plant life here has grown to a point of excess, but not in the choking out of the land sort of way. Just like you look up and you see the canopies of the trees. Everything on a vertical scale seems to be extended. Like normally you would think, you might look up and see the canopy, 20 to 30 feet up, but there's like 50 feet of open air between you and even the bottom of the what you would consider the true canopy of the woods. So much so that you would think it would obscure a little bit more light than it actually does. However, you continue on through this kind of strange, otherworldly forest, and
Maya doesn't really question anything. This is magic.
Alright, and so I think you continue on, and let's see what we're gonna do here. Alright, so as you are closing in, probably within 300 to 400 feet of this signature that you've picked up, I guess we should probably determine a marching order. So, what's that gonna look like?
Well,
It's pointing toward
no, I want to actually be second, because I'm short. I can't see very far.
I'll be first.
So, yeah, I'll direct you.
Okay.
So,
So we
'cause-
have a Maya.
I will pull branches away so you can go past them.
cool. And then I'll kind of, using my, I guess I have armor, so using
Yeah.
my armored form, I'll kind of push branches and stuff out of the way for Bungdo as well.
Okay. And does Bungdo want to be squarely at the back, or would you like to leave that honor for Seema?
You can leave it for Seema.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, yeah, that. And let's get this back here. Okay. Why are you not doing the thing that you're supposed to do? Ah. Okay. Do. Tweaking a thing. Please hold. And
He's really trying to decide what he wants to fuck us with.
you cut out. What'd you say?
Oh, I said you're really trying to decide what you want to fuck us with.
You cut out in the same fucking place.
Ah, really? I'm like eating the mic. I said you're trying to decide what you're gonna fuck us with.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe. And by maybe, I mean I actually kind of already know what I'm throwing at you guys, but
Of course you do.
all right.
That's
So, as you continue on through the woods, and you reach that 300 to 400 foot range, you kind of find yourselves in a lower portion of the woods. Like, there aren't exactly like cliff faces or anything, but you know, the terrain isn't entirely even. And as you're kind of coming out of this, I think valley is an exaggeration. You're coming out from between a couple of small hills. You hear a scream from the back of the group, and you hear a thud as Seema seems to get wrapped up by something, and you hear her like start to get almost dragged away.
That sounds unfortunate.
Yeah. So you hear this boom, just like, you know, bumping through the woods as you hear her getting like dragged back. So
Assassin vines.
as the yes, more assassin vines, because Sunday didn't have enough assassin vines. We needed more. All right. Let me get you guys over here. And don't mind the old man mini for Seema. It's just the closest thing I had for her stat block. And then we're gonna do the initiative thing. Okay, so Seema is old man token, getting dragged towards whatever the hell this thing is, which we'll cover in a second. But Maya, I guess you have the first chance to really react here.
What's you being dragged by?
So there's
She's
like
all the way over here?
no, she's here,
Oh, okay.
being dragged toward something here.
Okay. Do I see what she's being dragged by?
Make a perception check to kind of get a full scope on this. Okay. So, you see what looks like almost a grayish rope that has kind of lassoed her around both legs, and she is being dragged toward the side of one of these little hills that you just passed by. And you see kind of projecting out from the hillside, as though able to just walk through it, a pale face, almost stone colored. And the gray rope seems to lead back toward the face, almost like it's a dreadlock or something.
Well, I don't like this. So, is it half movement or?
The terrain you're in right now? Is that what
Yeah.
you're asking?
Yeah.
I would say it's normal right now. Like, probably same rules as Tomb. Like, if you're running through a bush, we'll say it's half, but otherwise you can just move freely.
Well, 1, 2, 3.
I'm not seeing you update.
I'm not. I'm holding it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go 3 and just bring my staff down on the vine thing.
Staff, vine thing. Yeah. That is a 21 to hit. That's a pretty accurate attack there. Let me verify something here. Okay, so you hit it, and you like feel it kind of give a little bit, but it actually doesn't break. It's a pretty sturdy rope hair thing.
Well, I'm gonna hit it again.
Do the thing.
What about a 28?
Okay, so you smack it the one time, you see it fray a little bit. You smack it again, you see it fray even more, but it's actually still not entirely broken.
I'm gonna hit it again. What about
You
a
miss.
14? Gosh darn it. I am going to hit it again. And one second. There is something I can do. Yeah, I will hit it with I will stomp on it.
Stomp on it. You hit it. And finally, after hitting it 3 times, you watch as the rope hair thing fully separates from whatever it's like attached to, and Seema stops in her place, like being dragged. So yeah, and then the hair rope thing just like retracts back toward the hillside.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Tormilla.
Here's what I was looking for. So I hit it, so I am going to make it so that that thing that I broke can't take reactions till the end of my next turn.
Okay. Alright. Cool. So now, what is Tormilla doing?
So, what is this?
Best you can tell, it is an almost stone-looking face, just protruding out from the hillside. And you watched as this gray rope of what almost looks like like what would be its hair, reached out and started dragging Seema toward it.
All right. Well, I'm going to. It's within 60 feet of me, right? Like I can still see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, "That's not nice. You shouldn't attack my friends." And I'm going to cast Banishment on it.
Okay.
And I'm going to send it to the plane of fire.
Huh.
Or wait.
If the
Or no,
target is
sorry,
native
it's
to the
native.
plane of existence
Yes.
you're on. Yeah,
You're right.
You
I
banish
forgot
it to
you
a
don't-
harmless demiplane.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Yep. So let's find the. What's the save? Charisma save. Okay. Should open up the character sheet in the right place. Oh god, what? They've changed things. Why do they always change things?
Because they're always improving.
Sure, that's a word you could use. Okay, charisma. Loop. Okay, so you do that. You like attempt to banish it to some distant plane, and you watch as it like kind of goes wide-eyed, stares at you for a moment, and disappears.
All right. I'll look around and say, "Quick, everybody, surround that area. He'll be back in a minute." And I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and can I like jump down and get like here with 5?
So that's actually like up.
Oh, is it up? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll just go here for 5. And work my way around. Was he standing on top or in?
No, he's. It was just the face, and it was like protruding right out from the side of the hill.
How high up?
Maybe like just over eye level with you, and you're a dwarf.
All right, I'll go here, and I guess I will just turn around and can I like basically cut my hands and act like a step to try to help people up?
Sure. So are we gonna Dark Souls this, and everybody's gonna like hop up and attack it? Is that what I'm seeing?
That I'm feeling. Yeah, we'll go attack it from behind. So.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll get in position and kind of lock my legs and lock my hands together and get ready to just kind of basically be a step for people to
Okay.
get up.
I mean, I don't really know.
I know, but Bungdo
That's fair.
does. So.
Yeah. So what does Bungo want to do? He has like a whole minute to get situated.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking if I move and get to, like, a place where I could just charge as soon as she appears, or he, that might work. But I think Tormel's gonna be in the way.
Well, it's also he's like basically in a tunnel, so he's gonna reappear at the mouth of the tunnel.
It's not really a
ditch.
tunnel.
Oh, is it a ditch?
Oh, okay. So
Well,
let
it's
me mark some stuff out here. Where Tormilla is standing is we'll call that ground level. Where the thing is, its face is literally sticking out of
Yeah, it's
just
in a
a
hillside.
dirt hill.
And then Maya's up on top.
Yeah.
It's like a small outcropping.
Yeah.
Like that middle area is basically a small valley between these 4 plateaus.
Yeah.
Which is why I could charge straight at it.
Mhm.
Like right into the hillside.
Mhm.
If Tormilla moves slightly to the side.
I'm just there to help people. So if you're not going up and in, then I'll step
Well,
out of the way.
it's not in. Like she's on a hillside. It's like it's a flat face
Yeah.
from ground level up to the top.
Yeah. It's like this thing can walk through the earth.
So I'm gonna be there, and I'm also in rhino form, by the way.
Yeah. So actually, let's get Rhino Bungo out here. Arr-da-burr.
I'll step over here.
Where the fuck are Bungdo Rhino's spots?
I will paint spots on you with pink paint. I
Okay.
have pink war paint. It's green.
And I think Seema is like keeping a healthy distance to maybe check some spells.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if that is good for you guys, then you just kind of wait around until you see the weird grayish face begin to.
I'm gonna ask.
Yeah.
Termilla what her plan is when it reappears.
Uh,
I have no idea why we're surrounding it.
well, we're just getting ready to wreck it so that
I mean,
Okay.
you could just leave.
it attacked us. So
Okay, it might have loot.
It might have what?
Loot.
Okay.
it attacked us, so it needs to be dealt with. So, all right, ready? 3, 2, 1, boom,
And,
and then
yeah,
it'll
just-
pop back.
Back into existence.
So,
And I guess we'll kind of take it from the top of a round. So that'll put us back at Maya.
Would it realistically be safe to say that we would all go before it?
yeah, like held
Considering-
actions.
Yeah, so like
we're all preparing for it to go in, and then it would go back to normal. If not, it's cool.
yeah, so let me think about this. Basically, we'll say sure. Yeah, everybody we'll say you guys just everybody gets to go and then we'll go back into normal initiative. So, yeah, let's just follow the order though. So let's go. Maya, what are you doing?
I will punch him.
Okay. So you like hang down from the hilltop and punch the face in the face.
Oof.
I punched poorly.
Yeah, so you like punch the hillside.
Ow.
Take that, you hill.
I'll punch it again.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
I will punch it a third time.
Mhm.
And I will attempt a stunning strike.
Okay. So those last two hits, both hit. And let's see, that is a con save.
15 is my proficiency.
Okay. So that's a natural 20. But you did hit it and you did some damage. And yeah, seems like you did some damage. Cool. So, that's it.
Yep.
Tormilla.
All I'm gonna do is, let me see if this is touch or if this is okay. So, I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna just kind of take out my little holy water bottle and just kind of sprinkle it and say, "Moradin, bless us." And I'm going to cast bless on Bungdo the Rhino, on Seema, and on Maya.
Okay.
Maya's within 30 feet of me, is she? Isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep. So you all get to add a d4 to an attack roll or a saving throw.
Sweet.
A D4 to attacker saving.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
So, and then everybody's looking good, right? Nobody looks hurt? Or Seema looking a little hurt?
Like maybe a couple bumps and bruises, but like not significant damage.
Okay, I'm good then.
Okay. So, and that's gonna bring us to Seema. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And she is
I'm gonna
going
grab
to...
some water.
Okay. Do the thing. Do the thing. Why is... oh, look. There we go. That's better. Boop-a-doop-boop-doo. She is going to...
Add a D4 to whatever she does. If it's an attack roll.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an attack. Well, actually, it might not be. Let's see. Let me check the specs on this thing. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
She's a sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she is going to hold out a hand, like open palm toward this thing. And she is actually, well, unfortunately, she's not going to be using that attack roll. But let's see how this shakes out. Pete, you're a mess. What are you doing?
He's attacking the hip bone. Yeah.
Okay. So she holds out a hand, and you hear this crackling sound as a blue streak of lightning shoots out from it. In such a way as to pass uncomfortably close to Maya, but not put her at risk of having to attack, I don't think. Yeah. And so this thing's damage. Although somehow it managed to avoid part of the blast, so there's that. Okay. And so it like kind of gets grazed by this this lightning blast and seems to like shake it off. All right. That's it for Seema. Bungdo.
All right, charging straight at her. Let me roll that attack. And a bungdo. Okay, so essentially, if the rhinoceros moves at least 20 feet straight forward to a target and then hits with its gore attack on the same turn, target takes an extra 9, well, 2d8 bludgeoning.
Right.
So, if it is a creature, it must succeed in a DC 15 strength throw or be saving throw or be knocked prone. I assume that because it's in the hill, it can't be knocked prone. So there's that, and then
might want to add your D4.
Oh,
That could be the deciding factor here. Okay, let me double check the AC. All right, so Bungdo the Rhino finally able to run into action, barrels down towards this thing, horn lowered, ready to just slam this face in the face. And yeah, so you head over there, and at just the last second, you run horn first into the hill, and the mustached and bearded face is staring out from like right next to the area where you impacted, kind of like laughing at you.
God damn it.
Anything else?
Nope.
Maya?
Okay. I'm gonna start trying to punch it again.
Okay, the thing.
Punch, punch. 17.
Yeah.
Punch. Punch.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And attempt stunning strike.
Okay, just the one time?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's con save. Do.
I mean, I guess technically I should do it after the first one.
That's fair. Okay.
Because
So
that gives me advantage, right? They're stunned.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. What's your DC?
15.
That is a 15. But you do hit it all 3 times,
Okay.
so you do a good bit of damage. It's looking at least a little beat up, like not dying, but beat up.
It's a little upset.
Yes. Anything else?
No.
Carmilla.
All right. How is it looking? The face, just beat up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sacred flame it.
Okay. Do the thing.
It's a dex save.
Oh, I didn't. It's weird. I didn't hear it like do the bloop.
Oh.
But okay. Save. It is 16 dexterous.
Oof. All right. I will look over at Seema and I'll say, you're looking a little hurt. Hopefully this will help. And just healing word at level 1.
Oh yeah, that more than does any repair that needs to be done to see.
Okay.
So yeah, you're good.
Hey,
Cool.
Eric.
Yes.
If I get that +4, and it exceeds my nat 20 roll, do I get a bonus?
No.
Dang it. I don't know why I would, I just thought I'd ask.
Okay. But yeah, so that's it for Termilla.
Yes, that'll be it.
Okay, so then Seema's gonna, I guess, try and maneuver in such a way that she can attack the thing without blasting Bungdo in the butt. And she's going to throw just like a bolt of fire, if you will, at the thing.
Bundo will be quite happy at this development.
I mean, it's not produced flame, but it's pretty close.
Look, I'll take what I can get.
Okay, so she like whips this little bolt of flame, and it hits the face, and it, again you see like the hair, like the bristly whatever that makes up the mustache and the beard that you're looking at. It like begins to catch and then seems to just go out on its own. And then it is the mysterious face's turn. And so for its first trick, it is going to recede back into the hillside. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's gonna go like.
Pete.
Let me make sure I understand what I'm doing before I make the thing happen. Okay. So, actually, it's going to do something before it moves. It is going to... It's going to ease forward just a little bit so that you can kind of see, almost like Han Solo in Carbonite. You know, you can kind of see like an outline of its shape, and you watch as this strange creature that you can now see all of, or at least most of, for the first time, emerges. It's almost satyr-like. It has like cloven hooves for feet. And it's got this big bushy beard that runs like all the way down its torso. It's like the beard kind of merges into just this big mass of fur that covers the torso, and it's got these like kind of dwarven looking arms and hands, like kind of thick and stocky in build. And it sort of gives you like a toothy grin and begins to just make consistent eye contact with Bungdo the rhino and begin to like dance a little jig. And
That's the save.
yeah, I'm going to wait a minute. There's got to be a save. Come on. What's the save? This is poorly written.
You're poorly written.
Poony Okay. So at least for the time being, Bungdo the Rhino, you just feel compelled to dance. You'll get a chance to save on your turn, but for now, it's time to dance.
Doing friggin' watermelon crawl.
You
What?
are terrible.
Oh, I said doing the watermelon crawl.
I was muted, so I'm just dancing.
Yeah, you're a dancing rhino.
Is it good dancing?
With pink polka dots.
I don't know. Would you like to make a performance check as a rhino to see how good your rhino dances?
Do you even have to ask?
Roll for rhino.
I guess that would be a charisma check since rhinos probably don't have performance.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's
Not very graceful.
it's a rhino dance. It's kind of like, you know, white guy just shifting weight from one side to the other. Maybe bending the knees a little bit now and then.
God damn it. All right.
Okay. Cool. And then the thing is going to like recede back into the hillside. And Maya, make a perception check.
Boom, 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 boom. Perception. Oh my goodness.
Cool. Thanks.
I see nothing.
Yeah. All right. So, Bungdo, here's how this works. You
Can
you
I
do
still do something on my turn?
it's
Or
it's Bungo's turn.
oh, okay. I
Um,
didn't realize.
Yeah.
So, am I making a check for that save then?
So here's how it works. You must use all of your movement to dance without leaving your space, and you have disadvantage on dex saves and attack rolls. Let's see what else is relevant. So you can use an action to make a wisdom save and try and regain control of yourself, basically.
And you get a +4 on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So
What do I
dancing rhino,
Wisdom?
wisdom.
Actually, since
Oh, +d4.
since it is, would it still use Bungdo's wisdom?
Yes.
What's that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to re-roll that with his wisdom, or just take that? It's not terrible. I can just add 4.
Oh, d4.
Let's fuck it. We'll do the.
Roll 20, you're
50.
drunk. Okay. Let me get roll 20 to fucking cooperate. This new thing is ass. Hold on.
Get good.
NPC character sheets are multi-column now. and they have not figured out the window boundaries yet very well. Okay, so the white boy dancing rhino, kind of just losing track for a moment, suddenly like stops and shakes it off. You have made the save. What are you doing now?
He has what, a bonus action?
Yeah, you have a bonus action and your movement now that you have stopped having to use all of it for dancing.
Oh my god, I was muted again. That's the beast next to Maya, right?
Maybe.
As in, like, I'm probably out of range.
Well, it's hard to say. Like, you don't know where the thing went, I guess is the issue.
Alright, I'm gonna go back here.
Okay. Cool. So that's a thing. Now, Maya, it is your turn. What would you like to do on your turn now that...
Do I see it?
Make another perception check.
I
Ah!
just dropped something. 2. 9.
You do not see it.
Um,
It has done you a bamboozle.
Be right back. I'm gonna grab water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just spending my turn trying to find it. And I have no idea, so it's not, I guess, I don't know, wrap the spot that it was previously at with my staff.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. You swing and you smack a hill.
And nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Well, okay. I guess that's it.
Alright. Formula!
What do I see? Do I see anything?
Make a perception check.
Alright. Wow. Nope.
You see fuck all.
Let me see how long this takes. Alright, can I cast this? And I'm gonna locate whatever the fuck that thing was.
Yeah. So let's see. You sense the direction. Okay. Alright. So it's like it's like over here somewhere.
Okay. I will. Oh, I can't put. Alright, I will just kind of point in that direction and say, it's over there!
I'm back, by the way.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
Okay. So
I'm
then.
hoping you're a little more descriptive, like under that bush or something.
Yeah, I am.
Alright. So then Seema is going to kind of come up over this way. And Seema is going to do sorcerer things. Specifically. She is going to point at an area like way, way back. Like, I don't know, around here-ish. And you watch as this little reddish bead just like flies out from her finger and just zips over there, like over the bush. And and then it like makes this little popping sound. There's this like half second of silence, like, wait, did she just miss? Boom! Fireball. And yeah, I mean, there's just this blast of flame that like takes up, I don't know, like a huge amount of space. Like, actually, it is conveniently placed so that Maya is just at the edge of it.
Yay!
Yay! Probably. This is. I need to move this, and it's not. It's not even big enough. I'm zoomed in too close to even make this accurate. So never mind. It's a big blast. It doesn't hit any of her friends, but it pretty much incinerates this bush that Tormilla had pointed at. And so at that point, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say that this dude,
We can see again.
yeah, you can see him, and like his previously unignitable hair is now just like scorched and singed in multiple places. He's kind of like knocked on his ass, like shell shocked, like. Yeah. And then it's his turn. And so he's going to see. He looks over. Is he okay, so he looks over at Seema and like opens his mouth and begins to babble this language that I don't think any of you know. But it sounds like he opens his mouth and it just sounds like the tumbling of stones and dirt. It's kind of like that Key and Peele skit where, you know, a dude opens his mouth and it's just construction noises. And he like holds his hands up like, okay, I'm not fucking with you. I'm done. And that's his turn. So Bungdo, what are you doing? I mean, I guess we can kind of drop out of combat at this point, really. So yeah, we're out of initiative. He has like surrendered. He's just standing in the midst of the ashes of this bush.
I kind of trot over to him
Uh-huh.
and then start sniffing him.
He smells well done and kind of like rocks.
I'm gonna go out on
By the way, we're trying to find a druid, correct?
a cleric.
A cleric.
Cleric.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and try in Dwarvish to say, do you understand this language?
Yeah, he like turns over, you know, looks at you and like nods. Like, uh-huh.
Oh. Can you speak it?
I could.
All right. So, I guess I'll kind of look at the party and say, well, I'm not gonna kill you. What are you?
And why did you attack us?
Alright, so in answer to Tormilla's question, it says, I'm a guy who lives here. And to Maya, he says, well, I was just having a little fun.
I can get behind that.
Do
You're a rhino.
I'm out of character saying that.
Oh.
Shrugs in Rhino.
When I read about creatures of the Feywild, did I read about anything like this?
We'll say sure. So now kind of seeing this thing fully, you know, unearthed, I guess would be actually an appropriate term. Um, this is a Korrid, an unpredictable, secretive fae with strong ties to, get this, earth and stone. Because of
Shocking.
their magical hair and their mystical understanding of minerals, they are sought after by treasure hunters, dwarves, and others that desire wealth beneath the earth.
How do you spell that?
Korred.
Sorry, almost sneezed. That. So, I guess, in Dwarvish, I'll say, well, you had your fun, correct? Maybe you can point us in the right direction.
He looks at you and says, so what are you looking for? Gold? Gems?
We're looking for an elf.
A really old elf.
Yes. Ancient, even by elven standards.
He kind of squints and says, He thinks on it for a second and says, I mean, there's kind of a frail-looking guy that lives over that way, with the temperamental one. I forget what they're called. You know, the snow and fire and all of that stuff.
Elemental?
I've seen elementals in my day. I'm actually friends with a couple of earth elementals. That's not an elemental.
Alright.
I think that's who we're looking for, though.
Probably.
I mean, like, you know, he kind of chimes in again. And he says, "There's kind of a weird resemblance between the old frail one and the moody one. I don't know. I mean, if the old one's an elf, maybe the other one's an elf or elf-ish."
Okay. And so that we don't have to interrupt whatever you're doing, where do you usually stay? What general area?
Just kind of around here in the hills, and
Oh, what's your name?
he kind of looks at you and
I'm Maya.
yeah. I'm trying to remember. You know some Dwarvish, right?
Yeah, I know Dwarvish. I speak Dwarvish.
Okay. You outright know Dwarvish. Cool. So
I understand all of this.
okay. So yeah. You ask him what his name is, and he opens his mouth, and again you just hear rock noises.
Okay. Oh, that's his name. So
Yeah.
I will make a mental note.
His name is Rock Noises.
I do my best to reproduce it.
You're saying it with a lisp.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. And yeah, he says, "So, am I free to go?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, here, come over here for a second, and I will do one of these on him at cure wounds on him at 3rd level.
Okay. And yeah, you know, he's kind of leery, like, Okay.
I'm a healer. Don't worry, I'm.
All right. Yeah. He comes over. You heal him up and says, "Oh, well, thanks. I guess maybe it won't hurt quite as bad when I wake up tomorrow." Um. All right. Well, if that's it, he looks around at all of you, kind of gives you the like half-assed salute thing, where like one hand goes up. You know, he gives you like the 2-finger kind of deal, and his beard actually does like the same thing.
That's awesome.
And then he just like sinks down into the ground.
I
I'll say, I'll look to Maya. What was that?
it's a porridge.
Yeah.
Well,
Kind of explain
Neat.
what it is.
yeah.
I liked him.
You would.
I will say he kind of reminded me of a few people I knew back in Thogladire.
Indeed. Okay. So, yeah, Seema's just like... Seema has been visibly like kind of sitting back and just observing the interactions between, you know, you and Rock Sounds. Um, and she like comes up and says, "So, does it normally end like that? Like, you know, kiss and make up and all that?"
Not normally, but
It wasn't. You didn't mean anything by it.
yeah, normally they don't surrender. So
Okay.
but I'm not one to dishonorably kill somebody who's surrendering.
He was just up to mischief.
Yes. That was a pretty big fireball.
Well, yeah, you know, I've been practicing a little bit. It's nice to actually, you know, get to use it in context instead of just, you know, going out into the woods and trying not to burn everything down. But yeah, you know, I can hold my own.
All right. I've come to realize that I came here very ill prepared as well. So.
You know, she says, well, I don't know. I mean, you seem to be talking to your invisible friend, all right.
What do you mean?
Your, that I don't know, like invisible sky dad or whatever you call him.
Oh. Well, I have many more uses I could have, but we'll see what tomorrow brings.
All right. Well, just, you know, don't get wrapped up in talking to Daddy while we're in the middle of combat. All right.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay. And with that, she just, you know, kind of starts walking in the direction that you guys were going, and I don't know if anybody is actually following her or not, but she just kind of goes on that way.
Go in the direction that guy told us to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So you do that, and yeah, I mean, you continue on, just going straight away, or
Yeah, why not?
so yeah, you continue on through the woods for not too much longer. I mean, realistically, you were like 300-400 feet away tops, and you come to what is effectively like the top of a cliff. So the tree line kind of stops maybe 30 to 50 feet from the edge of this cliff, where You can see kind of off in the distance the forest sprawled out, almost reaching out to the horizon, with just the most distant shapes of mountains kind of breaking up the flat line of, again, oddly consistent pastel dawn dusk kind of colors in the sky. And
I'm okay with this because I don't have night vision.
and situated there, at the almost the very edge of this cliff, you can see a large rectangle of carved stone. I don't think we need to make any checks to realize that it looks very much like either a coffin of sorts, or perhaps a platform upon which one might lay a
Sacrifice.
a sacrifice, or perhaps a corpse. And then looking around even a bit more, you can see that there is what looks like a hole that has been dug into the earth here, like kind of off to one side of this stone platform or what have you, covered with like a little thatch door thing that's been left partway open. Like a thatch trapdoor kind of situation. So, what do you do?
Is it open or?
Yeah, like partway. It's, kind of like almost like it's been kind of stuck partway open.
I guess I'll go and look for traps.
Okay.
Can I knock on the door? After we checks for traps.
Sure. So, if you traps, make a perception check.
Can I assist him?
Sure.
Okay.
So, is that going to be a roll from Maya or another roll from?
I can roll too.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, you look around and you do not detect any traps. Yeah, it seems pretty much as presented. Just a clearing at the edge of this cliff. And so, Maya, you had said you wanted to go and like try to knock on the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like a single-sided cellar door, that kind of leads down, tunneling down into the what you can tell from here is the cliffside. And yeah, you kind of like, I guess, stoop down and give it a knock, and you
Say
kind of
hello.
hello.
Hi, we're looking for whatever his name is.
Father Kios.
Yeah. Hi, we're looking for Father Kios.
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 Is staring through the fourth wall. He says, That's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time.
Jesus Christ.
Long time.
Long as fucking time ago in a galaxy far away.
This is one moment. You hear like
35
the
rocks.
groaning of an old man. Yeah, no, you hear like he like hefts himself up, and you hear like the slowest of footfalls. It's like and eventually he comes into view through the partially cracked door, and
Question. Where is Togar's body?
It disintegrated?
Oh, that's right.
yeah, that's the thing. That's that's why you need like the big guns, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you see this old wrinkled elf, more wrinkled and more aged than I think any of you could even conceive of an elf looking. To the point where he has these deep canyons of like folded skin on his face, and he's even got like a little bit of the jowly thing going on. Wisps of white hair, and even a bit of kind of sparse but unkempt, like the faintest hint of facial hair. It's almost like peach fuzz. He like slowly makes his way up toward the door. You can see him approaching and eventually slowly pushing it open. And he says, "What brings you to the Feywild in search of an old man?"
Well, our friend died, and we were hoping to see if we could resurrect him. Or, well, get him resurrected.
I feel your pain. Words can be difficult sometimes.
Shut up.
He says, "It's a long, dangerous road you've taken. I respect that. It's a long pause, and he says, "What is it that makes you think it was not his time?"
Well, because it appears that another also perished in the same fight that our other friend did. But in her perishing, she apparently killed those that mere seconds before killed our friend. So it seems she was destined to die.
also killed by an evil wolf.
And I myself am of the cloth, and I don't believe that it was his time. He has much to bring to this world, and he is needed.
He has this kind of distant gaze as you you make your case, and he says, "Many are thought to be needed, gone before their time. Why is this one different? Why do I not raise all those who die premature deaths?"
We require his help in defeating a great evil, which we fear is still in the world.
If you had a chance to save a city, to stop something from happening, and all you had to do was one thing, is it worth saving a city for the chance that it might someday save a city or even the world?
With his help, we've defeated a couple of great evils, and there are still many left.
I owe him my life because, well, all of you my life, because had you not found me, I'd probably still be sitting on that rock. So, he is needed by, well, my father first of all, but by my goddess, or God rather, I guess. He has much to give to this world still. He has many brilliant ideas, ways that could change the way people are and people operate for the better.
I have business to attend to here. I would invite you to stay a short time. See what happens to those who cannot let go.
We have lost friends before on this journey, as the one who perished with him and one before that. We did not seek to resurrect them. Just this one.
"3 days. Give me 3 days. Stay here. Meet the one of whom I speak. If you feel the same, then perhaps your friend will be returned to you.
Okay.
I just solemnly nod.
He continues fully up and out of the doorway and walks over to the large block of stone that you had seen at the cliff's edge, and pulls from his side what looks like a small flask of well, I think Tormillo would especially recognize this. It looks like a flask of holy oil, and removes the stopper and sprinkles just a bit of it over the top of this stone block. You hear him kind of muttering under his breath, and he reaches into his cloak and places a number of what look like petals from different colored flowers. 4 of them at one end. He then splashes a bit more holy oil on the stone, makes a gesture with his hands in the air, just a small, reserved, like almost like a benediction kind of thing. And then makes his way back toward the door, looking back at all of you as though to say, come on in.
I will be the first to follow.
I will follow after.
Okay. So he leads you down into, well, not much of a surprise, a basically dirt, a packed dirt, packed dirt little structure. Kind of humble little place. There is a single window that's carved out, overlooking the sprawling woods below. And he kind of sits down, just like cross-legged on the ground, the floor of this little lodging, and he says, "This place, it is..." He pauses as though trying to choose his words carefully. "Is home to creatures, beings that show exaggerated examples, I suppose, of the struggles that we face in our lives, even back on the prime material. Specifically, the one of whom I speak is, again, long pause. He is tortured by loss. So much so that it changes him. Notice I don't say changed him. It changes him. It controls him. You must never let this be the case in your lives. You've heard of the Eladrin before?
Have we?
I think you have. I think you actually did some research on them last session. It was just forever ago. These were like the ancestors of the elves.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now it clicks. Yeah, so I guess to recap that for just a second. Elves were originally basically directly tied to Corellon, who is like their overarching deity. So much so that they got to live in Corellon's plane of existence. But then when they started kind of seeking their own ways, their own, I guess, priorities over his, there was kind of like a falling from grace sort of situation. And they were cast out. Very much a Garden of Eden kind of story, right? And so they were scattered across the plains. A lot of them, their first stop was the Feywild, as it was very similar in nature to Corellon's plane. But all of the varieties of elf that you know to exist in the prime material are descended from those that eventually moved on. The Eladrin are, by and large, what remains of those who did not move on from the Feywild. So they are elves that have been changed, kind of had the energy of the Feywild infused into them. And so the eclectic, chaotic magic that makes this place what it is has found its way into their very being. And so it kind of makes sense that maybe this is what Father Kios is talking about. The mystical, chaotic side of things that maybe is a bit exaggerated compared to what you're used to seeing on the prime material. So, back into game world now. Kios says, so, you may have heard of the Eladrin. If you know enough to get here, I imagine you have at least heard of them.
I know a little bit.
Imagine a being that is timeless, verging on immortal, but prone to the chaos of the elements, driven mad with loss. I've met such a creature here, such a being here. I wish to make him whole. And much like yourselves, he knows I have the power through my God to do so. But to bring back the one that he longs for would do him no good. He needs to control himself, or such a reunion is destined for tragedy. And so this is what I would encourage you consider as well over these next few days. I wish for you to make peace with the world as it is, and perhaps with the world as it could be as well. And to not let anything that happens to you dictate your existence. He looks around at the group and says, I'm sorry if this is more of a chore than you had expected at the end of your journey. But it is what must be done. Looks especially, I think, at Tormilla and says, you understand what I'm saying.
I'll just nod my head and say, of course. And I'll just kind of look at the rest of the group and just kind of say, well, might as well make ourselves comfortable for a couple days.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nope.
Do you mind if I smoke black grass?
Tormilla's jaw hits the floor.
He says, it makes no matter to me. You find ample supply of it out in the woods, I'm sure.
Bungdo just starts walking towards the woods.
You can bring lots of black grass back.
And yells, "Thank you!" behind him.
Well, that's gonna keep him busy for a while.
How much of this can I pick? What?
You're
what
a
is my
druid.
limit here?
You could like ask the plants where they are and shit.
that is the thing.
That is a druidic thing.
Little plants, let me smoke you.
Oh boy.
We also have quite a bit of room in the group treasury.
Yep.
Not for long.
So this is the part where we go from the like super dire ominous conversation to like almost like a musical number with Bungdo like, you know, skipping through the woods. with Bungdo like skipping through the woods. There's like singing mushrooms and
Some poppy flowers along the way.
like him and Rock Noises just getting stoned out by the hills.
Oh yes, I can imagine Rock Noise is doing that too. But he rolls his out of granite.
Got a Davida playing.
Oh, Jesus. This is not what I expected when I woke up this morning.
So, I am basically kind of making a little mini shrine to Moradin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm basically just going to kind of sit in a meditation for the next, like, day.
Okay.
I also finally get the chance to sit down and meditate, so I will.
So there's the two, like, super composed, meditating folks, and then there's Bungdo just losing his shit out in the woods.
Anyway,
Fuck
That's-
you guys.
I
I don't
mean-
feel bad about this at all.
No, you shouldn't. That's totally Bungdo.
Yeah. Yeah, good question about Seema. I think she would probably, like, she'd ask to go with Bungdo, I think.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you even have help, Bungo.
Yes.
She can pick the tops. Unless you made yourself a gorilla or something.
Oh. What if I
Stone gorilla?
Bungdo the gorilla just getting stoned off his ass and swinging from tree to tree.
It's like the next day, you guys are getting done with your meditation, just like, and then I'm just like, I just fucking charge. Otherwise, like,
Bungdo is.
stoned off my ass,
he-
hair all ruffled, sticks and leaves everywhere.
I
Not
imagine-
knowing what the fuck's going on.
I imagine Bungdo would come running in on his hands. Like two joints, one joint sticking out of each direction out of his lips. And just and just run through camp on his hands. And then like just disappear into another bush.
Just go- Don't even stop. Just fucking bolt.
Yes, just run through.
I love Bundo.
Yes.
I'm not gonna stop meditating unless someone interrupts me. So
Yeah, me either.
Like a stoned gorilla.
Yeah,
stay
you know.
stoned.
But that's not a thing you expected to hear today.
When it comes to Bundo,
You never
I
can
just
tell.
kind of expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. So, yeah, we'll say you guys, you get like a good day of just rest in, and in the meantime, Kios is, he mostly keeps to himself. Every once in a while he'll head back up, above ground and perform another blessing or whatever it is that he did, up there when you first arrived. But yeah, for the most part, he leaves you be for the better part of a day. And as Bungdo the gorilla is like kind of back, at least near the near
Canonically,
the- yeah.
I'm not a gorilla. I'm just Bundo picking black grass.
Oh, that okay, that's fine too. But yeah, so as Bungdo and Seema, and maybe occasionally Rock Sounds too, are all just kind of approaching, let's say, the home of Father Kios once again. You feel the temperature in the surrounding air suddenly drop by like 60 degrees. Suddenly, you see
Almost.
those of you who are out in the woods. Yeah, so that
Okay,
would be
so,
that would be
like-
you, and then Seema and Rock Sounds. um, and as you are like making your way, kind of, well, let's say you're like just getting past the tree line or whatever. You feel the sudden gusts of wind caused by the change in temperature, air pressure, and even a bit of snow begins to just drive down in the immediate area. As you hear coming through the trees, just sort of crunching through the now frozen branches. You see a humanoid figure emerging from the woods, maybe 30, 40 feet away from you. And this individual is, well, cloaked in frost, first of all. But let's see if I can get a picture to show. I think that might be a better way to do this.
I hope it's not
Alright.
dangerous, because I'm going to say hi.
um,
Does it look dangerous?
I mean, it looks like it could be dangerous, but, you know, not like turns and stares at you and says, "You will die," kind of thing.
Okay, so, like,
Um,
it could be dangerous if I, pissed it off.
Yeah, so okay. You see what's basically a pale, only faintly bluish skinned elven figure with flowing blue hair that ends in just kind of fading to white and gray in the tips. The attire not really matching the weather, although you can see, I suppose, like a swirling bit of snow that seems to kind of like trace the cloak of this individual. Slung across their back is a gnarled wooden bow and some sort of blade tucked to one side.
So it's probably hunting.
Possibly.
It could be hunting gnome.
Possibly. Although, if it is, it's doing a much worse job than the forest gnome that you met back in
I
the
doubt
Frontier.
it even knows I'm here. I'm like a ninja as far as gnomes are concerned. Okay, so I take a leaf. I assume I'm able to have black grass at this point, correct?
Of course.
Okay, I roll it up in the leaf, tie it off with some stems, and I walk up to the guy. Quietly.
Okay.
Not sneakily, just quietly, so I don't scare away his prey.
Okay. So it looks actually as though this person is making their way toward Father Kios's place. Actually, quite intently so.
Well, I still go and say hi.
Okay. And so, yeah, as they are, you know, mid-stride, clearing the tree line and heading toward the little cliffside hut. Or, I guess, inside cliff hut? I don't even know how you say that. The edgiest of all edgy elves, apart from the drow, because of course, looks down at you with like these almost glowing bluish eyes. Says, "Who are you?"
Well, I'm Bungo Fairtinker, the Fairtinker Mercantile. I'm just kind of visiting this plain and picking some black grass, and I was wondering if you'd like to smoke it with And I just kind of look at him inquisitively.
Okay. There's definitely like a 1,000-yard stare quality about this this person. Seems to like stare through you as they're listening to what you have to say. And he says, "So what? You've come all this way just to waste what little existence you have."
Sorry, clearing my throat. Yes.
Yes. um, looks at you, looks over at Seema, who just, let's see. I'm trying to imagine what she would be doing here. Like, she's probably trying to contain the smirk, like, oh, look how fucking edgy you are. And then he looks over at who I guess we're just canonically naming Rock Noises.
It's satire, yeah?
Huh?
This is satire, yeah? Rock noises?
Yeah, satyr-ish. Yeah. And yeah, he like looks up at the super edgy winter elf and is like, again, just waving with the beard kind of thing. And the elf says, "I have no time for this," and tries to like push past you.
So are Maya and I still meditating at this point?
I guess.
No one's interrupted me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know if he was yelling. Or if he was just, you know.
I mean, edgy elf doesn't yell. Edgy elf just broods.
Okay.
Everyone else is edgy.
So as he starts, he's walking away at this point, correct?
Yeah, he's walking like toward the cliff edge toward
And I'm
Kios's
behind
place.
him.
Opportunity attack.
I mean, yeah, he does basically put you behind him, yeah.
I put my thumbs in my ears, raise my hands up, waggle them while sticking out my tongue.
Okay.
A brilliant use of an opportunity attack.
Yeah, and as you're doing that, Seema like outstretches a middle finger, and you watch as like this silvery blob kind of stretches out from it and forms her mage hand, which is also giving him the finger.
That's awesome.
What race is Seema?
So she looks to be probably half elf, but she does have parts of her skin, especially one arm, are kind of scaly.
Would she be considered beautiful?
Probably.
Bungdo likes her.
Okay.
He likes the cut of her jib.
Well, my map just disappeared.
Your map disappeared?
Have you
Yeah.
tried turning it off and on again?
The hell?
It's because your eyes are closed.
No, it just blanked out and there was nothing.
Is it back?
It's
Or no?
loading in. Nope. Oh, yep, there we go.
Weird.
It was like you just deleted the whole map and I was just seeing the little gritty background.
Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah, so that's a thing. And so Edgy Elf continues toward Kios's place. And kind of like flings open the door, walks down, and without any sort of introduction, just walks in and says, "Is it time?" Kios slowly looks over as he has been, kind of distant as well in meditation. He says, "I understand that passage of time is meaningless to some of us. To others, 3 days means 3 days. The wintry elves' nostrils flare. Says, fine. How many of your days is this now? This is only the end of the first. Very well. He squints just angrily, broodingly at Father Kios. And whether meaning to or not, of course, gives the edgy cape flourish as he makes his way back up and out. And I don't know, like are Bungdo and company still just like standing there having watched the guy walk over there, or are you just about your own business again?
About my own business.
Okay.
Taking more black
So
guys.
yeah, we watch as this guy just
How much,
storms off into
by the way?
Yeah. How much blackgrass?
Yeah.
Um
Like a bushel.
Like 17 bushels.
all the bushels.
Literally everything we can all carry.
I mean, like, I think you would easily be able to pick, like, we'll say, like, 20 pounds.
Oh, sweet fuck. All right. We have 20 pounds of pot.
That's a thing. And so Edgy Elf storms off into the woods, and I guess we will pick this up a little bit next time.
This is the most beautiful thing.